Since 1990s, the human development and human security have been in UNDP's focus, introducing the new concept of human security, which placed people at the center of security concerns and making direct interlinkages between human security and sustainable development. The SDG, Sustainable Development Goals Agenda, adopted by the United Nations in 2015 by the member states, calls all countries, developed as well as developing, for action and global partnership to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that by 2030 all people enjoy peace and prosperity. The Sustainable Development Goals' latest report underlines the severity and the magnitude of the challenges before us, as well as the confluence of crises dominated by COVID-19, climate change, and conflicts around the world. And the recent UN reports in the run-up to the Conference of Parties to the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, the Synthesis Report, and the UNEP, the Environmental Agency of the United Nations Emissions Gap Report, testify to the fact that humanity is missing its targets to limit the warming of the planet's temperature by 2 degrees Celsius, which will result in crises with extreme weather events, as well as social crises unforeseen in human history. Apart from this, the world is faced by unprecedented energy crises, food insecurity, having a huge spin of impacts on education, environment, and overall affecting the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals. Feeling of insecurity are on the rise, naturally, nearly everywhere. Even before the COVID-19 pandemic, more than 6 in 7 people at the global level felt insecure. The pandemic increased multidimensional inequalities and decreased human development. More than 4 years of progress against poverty has been erased by COVID-19. The number of people living in extreme poverty in 2020, pre-pandemic projection is between 657 to 676 million people. Today, about 1.2 billion people live in conflict-affected areas. Violence and fear of violence pushed people to leave their homes and become refugees. The number of forcibly displaced people has been growing, peaking at 82.4 million in 2020. Imagine it is a higher number today. In addition, the appeals for global peace grow louder as the world is witnessing the larger number of violent conflicts since 1946, and a quarter of the population lives in conflict-affected countries.